All right, we are green. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, this beautiful country, but how we're going to fix both of those things together. And guys, they are very closely linked. Now, what we're going to talk about right now is the newly released information, the gun itself that was used in the CEO assassination in New York. You know, the gun control zone and the sensitive place and all that stuff. Well, we're going to walk through everything right now, and don't worry, the gun controllers never miss an opportunity to make hay when the sun shines, in their case, when tragedy strikes. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below. Can't wait to hear what you guys think, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. YouTube is up to that shenanigan of a game again, where subscribers are magically disappearing into the ether, so make sure you weren't ethered, because that's never fun. We got a prescription of freedom to pass along. And as you guys get in here, make sure you've got audio 5x5. Looks like we are good. Excellent. Have they released the manifesto? No, I'm going to touch on that in 1 second. Guys, let's dive into this. But before we do, while you guys are all filtering in, make sure you guys check out Sonoran Desert Institute, the sponsor for this video. If you guys modify and upgrade your own guns like most of you do, why not turn it into a career? You can add drones in there. You can do it from your own home. You get everything shipped to you. You can do gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking, shooting sports management, finishes, all the stuff that you need to know to make something out of, to be honest, something you're doing anyway. There's a link right down there. At least figure it out. Sonoran Desert Institute, right there. They've been a sponsor of this channel for years now, and I'm glad that they're offering people something to make something out of a passion, and that's why they're here, and thank you to them for making that possible. Let's get into this, people, as you guys are filtering in. As I mentioned in the introduction, we have the gun images, we've got the talking points, we've got the gun controllers. Oh, we've got all of it. So first of all, you know, you've seen that image about everywhere for the last week. Let me jump over to the gun controllers as you guys are still filtering in here. Giffords.org never misses an opportunity to capitalize upon a tragedy. Law enforcement have detained a person of interest in the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He had a ghost gun when apprehended, which is untraceable, easy to obtain without a background check, and ideal for those who seek to harm. Notice how they were mums the word on the whole fact that it was in New York where ghost guns are illegal. Ghost guns are illegal. Suppressors are illegal. You can't carry without a license. Sensitive places. You know, toughest gun control in the nation. Mums the word. Can't talk about that. But oh my God, did you see he had a ghost gun? Guys, the travesty of it all. All right, let's get into it. We got to talk about a few things. I have a couple things highlighted. And of course, everything is always linked into the description box below, whether I do lives or whether I do pre-rolls. Everything is done right down in the description because I always bring receipts because freedom requires receipts. My own little personal motto here. Let's get into this. Some key details as we are getting more coming out of the day. So the highlighted portions are what we're going to stop on. The suspect, identified by police as Luigi Nicholas Mangione, had a gun believed to be the one used in Wednesday's attack on Brian Thompson, as well as writings expressed anger at corporate America, police said. So again, let me know in the comments field or in the comments right here in the chat when you start to pick up the themes of which start to sound familiar. So we've got somebody who committed murder on camera, of course, and then he has writings expressing anger at corporate America. I don't know. We can't be conclusive because this is still a person of interest, but it does seem to be aiming that way. Okay, let's keep on going. I got a couple more things I want to show you here. Mangione was being held in Pennsylvania on gun charges and will eventually be extradited to New York to face charges in connection with Thompson's death, said NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney. So again, it's important to say this is alleged at this point. This is a person of interest. They have not said it is who it is. It could be as much a look-alike as anything else. But the bottom line is there's a ghost gun, so the gun controller is going to jump all over it. And I guarantee you're going to hear it in Democrat-run committees for the next week and a half. In addition to a 3-page handwritten document that suggests he harbored ill will towards corporate America, Kinney said Mangione also had a ghost gun, a type of weapon that can be assembled at home and is difficult to trace. When I get over to the CNN article, they actually have imagery of that. I'll show you. But I'm trying to build the case of what it sounds like here, okay? Ill will, didn't like corporations, going after the heads of the corporations. They had little words written on the bullet casings that said deny, delay, defend. You know, those types of things. They're all anti-insurance. Here we go. I found this fascinating. Officers also found a sound suppressor or silencer, quote, consistent with the weapon used in the murder, the commissioner said. Now, the interesting thing about this is I can't find the suppressor imagery anywhere. I can find the gun that they say is a ghost gun. I can't, and I'm about to show it to you. But there is no picture of a suppressor. You'd think that they would line out the actual gun, the magazine, in the typical New York fashion, and then the suppressor over the side, all equal and pretty and all framed up for the gun controllers. But they didn't. Anyway, let's keep going. What do we know about that guy? I don't care what I know about that guy. Let's jump over to CNN, because again, same articles, all breaking. This is this is a pretty big one. Suspect in killing of healthcare CEO faces 5 charges, including forgery and firearm without a license. Okay, let's bypass the normal arguments. We know how we feel about that. Let's keep on focusing on the issue here at hand, because this is what I really want to show you guys. Luigi Mangione, 26, was found at a McDonald's in Altoona, I think it's Altoona, with a gun and a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder, New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said at a news conference Monday, referring to a device that muffles the sound of a firearm. If you don't know what a suppressor is, I got nothing for you. There's the guy in question. All right. The weapon is a ghost gun, an untraceable, possibly 3D printed weapon capable of firing a 9mm round, Kinney said. So now we're getting 3D printing mixed in here. So there's another violation of New York law. I'm just waiting for the point when the gun control laws magically just poof work, because they don't. Criminal's going to criminal. This guy literally set out with an intent to destroy insurance companies and targeted a CEO with either a ghost gun or a 3D printed gun in a gun control zone in a state that suppressors were illegal, in a state that it was illegal to conceal carry a gun without a permission slip from the government and a license to do so. And all those things at the same time, and you're going to focus on the fact that it's a ghost gun, as you call it? Get out of Come on, get out of here. Get out. All the way out. I'll get to your comments here in a second. I think I had something lower. Aha! And here, everybody, Altoona. Someone corrected me in the chat, Altoona. That's okay. It's a big country. I don't know where everyone is. Altoona. Okay, thank you. So now, as you're looking at this, guys, and this is the imagery that CNN released, and to be fair, YouTube, nothing's going pew-pew. This is nothing illicit. This is literally just what CNN released. It's fair use. It's everything right there in the media. It's linked if you want to check. That is a standard Glock mag, and there's the firearm on the right. Now, that slide, you guys can let me know in the chat over here, and we'll kind of have a conversation about it. That looks like a typical Glock slide. That doesn't look like anything too fancy to me. And the bottom frame, or what they would call the ghost gun in this case, could it be 3D printed? Yes. Could it be a Glock frame that was stippled over? Yes. I can't really tell from those details, to be quite candid with you. There's a lot of stippling on it. I don't know. Point is, all of this is illegal in New York, so how did it work? How did it happen? Again, pointing to the gun control issues. And then we'll jump right over here. I'll come back to this in a second. This part right here, for some reason it wouldn't let me highlight it, but don't worry, I know where we are, guys. Gun control group seized on the news Monday that a ghost gun may have been involved in the high-profile New York shooting. Here's a quote from John Feinblatt, the president of Everytown for Gun Safety. You guys know how much I love him. Let me zoom in just to get his words right and proven. This news is yet another reminder that ghost guns are a dream come true for criminals who want to avoid detection and a nightmare from anyone tasked with stopping them, said John Feinblatt, president of Everytown for Gun Safety. Quote, ghost guns look like a regular gun, shoot like a regular gun, and kill like a regular gun. So our lawmakers must ensure they continue to be regulated like regular guns in a state that they were already regulated. All right. Suppressors are already regulated. Sensitive places is already a thing. Mandatory licensure. Can't carry in certain areas. I mean, like, good Lord, every single wet dream of gun control exists in New York. And still, all they can do is go, well, it's the ghost gun's fault. Get out of here. Let me jump into the comments real quick. All right, so now, one of the commenters here, Miyamoto, says that's just a gun with an obliterated serial number, not a ghost gun that never had a serial number. Okay, so let's jump into that. Because, again, I have not been able to tell. Maybe that is completely it. Maybe right in this region here, that is the serial number that's been obliterated. It's completely possible. And after all, that would qualify, that right there, that would qualify as their ghost gun reference in the left, in the mainstream media, and in the Democrat Party. That would still be a ghost gun. If the serial number was obliterated, as they just said, as one of the commenters said, it could be a problem. Someone else here says that's a 3D printed design. I'll be 100% honest with you. I cannot tell without getting more details of, different angles and different pieces to it. And I don't want to jump the gun to say what it is or what it isn't, simply because I'd rather just wait and be precise than speculate on it. But guys, the point is, all of the stuff that we're looking at here, all of this is already illegal in New York. Every single bit of it. And he made it all the way to Pennsylvania. So this is the part where you kind of get a little uncomfortable, and I'll jump into the comments here in 1 second. When you start to look at all the different laws that are already put in place that are already infringing upon the rights of the citizenry in New York and other gun control states too, but this particularly since it's New York, I'm going to bring out a familiar equation you guys might be very familiar with that I've said a few times. Here's the equation in the contract that happens. Gun control state, New York in this case, says, give me your rights, citizen, and once you give them to me, I will provide you all the safety and there will be no issues. Citizen says, sure, here's my rights. Government now has rights. Citizen has no rights. Citizen gets smoked by a criminal. Government says, oh, my bad, we'll do better next time. You still don't have your rights. The government still has your rights, and all they get is that, oh, I wish you could have done better, maybe next time. No! When you can't deliver on the promises you deliver, and you have to, and the cost and the currency that you're buying that safety with is your rights, I'm a hard no. And this is a really good example of what we're looking at right here in New York, where every single law that was purchased with the currency of your freedoms and your rights did not deliver. There's no conversation about how ineffective the gun control laws are. There's only conversations about, oh, ghost guns, those are so mean, we should probably have more gun laws. It's a cyclical doom loop. That's the entire point. If you don't realize that, you have to see what it is. People have bought safety or a proposed idea of safety with their rights used as a currency, and they're not getting what they have purchased. They're screwed. They've got the rights and control. All right, let me jump into the comments here real quick. Oh, now hold on, Sal. Hold on, Sal says the barrel is not threaded. I think that the barrel actually is threaded. That looks like a threaded barrel to me. Just saying, it could not be. It looks like one. Again, I'm reserving judgment as much as I can. Why is that gun missing its magazine release and its trigger pin? I'm not sure it's missing the magazine release. I think it's right there. I'm pretty sure that's it right there. I don't know. I can't. Again, reserving judgment. Let me jump in here. It's great that you bring all this information out and what should be said or done, but nobody in power is actually doing that, just us. Well, Odeon, that's the whole point. It is up to us. Politics reacts to what we demand in time. That's how it works. That's what you're seeing in the Republican Party over the last 10 years. All the rhinos in the establishment hated Trump because he was a threat to their power. Well, now Trump comes in and he is the power, and the establishment is getting smoked even further and further and further. That's how this works. The population demanded something, and it happened. I mean, it does not happen instantly. Don't get me wrong. It does not happen instantly. But that's what you've just witnessed in the last 10 years. Anyway, let's keep going. K. Morris says, a serial number would have allowed the weapon to be tracked through a non-searchable database that doesn't exist. Oh, I love that ATF reference you just made. You guys are some of the smartest people. Glock 2. Oh, it's too soon, Beans and Frank. It's too soon. She's either going to prison or sure 50 minutes of fame is over. How about some of that? Time for the New York citizens to file a breach of contract lawsuit to the administration of New York. I like that. Here comes the ghost gun ban. And James Wick, that's a really good way to wrap this video up. All right, so this is effectively where this typically goes when Democrats are in power. When Democrats are in power and something high profile happens like this, you have the gun control powers that be in the auspices of tyranny come forward and say, we need this, and start this whole conversation in the media, which then the Democrats pick it up, and then it turns into committee hearings, and we might get something, we might not. That's effectively how it works, depending on the power structure. Now, in this case, ghost guns are already under extreme threat from the ATF through making up laws whole cloth, and the Supreme Court is actually determining if they're going to be upheld or not upheld. So this ship has already sailed. But it is an interesting conversation, because if it's already banned in New York, what are they going to do federally? Because Trump's going to be inaugurated in about 35 days, 40 days, I can't remember the exact, soon. And the Biden administration's already on the way out. All the senators who are on their way out are passing little sweetheart bills like limiting the Supreme Court for years of their lives, which is not going to happen, Joe Manchin. And it's kind of just like I did it. It's like playing, no, I can't say that. I want to. Just the T, but you can't. Some of you guys know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at, guys. That's the bottom line. We got so much more stuff to cover, so make sure you send this out as more of these details come out. If I get some more detailed imagery on this, either myself or me and Tim will dive into this, because something doesn't smell right. I want to see the suppressor. That's what I want to see, because then you're talking about something completely different, holding the ball game. But until that ball game is set to take place, I will see you guys on the next one. I hope I landed